Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. We're back with more Necromunda. Today we have the new Goliath Stimmers and the Forgeborn. Not the Forgeborn, but anyway. I figured these guys just look pretty cool, and I actually have a good chunk of my Goliaths painted. About half of them, and then the other half that is just about finished as well. So it was time for something new, and especially just to hold me off until my Forge World guys show up. So, unlike regular Goliaths, these guys are full of all kinds of fun chemicals, and I hate to say it, but the first thing I thought of was juicers from Rifts. I've got Rifts on the mind. I want Rifts tabletop figures, and honestly, these are probably the closest I'm going to get in any reasonable time frame. As it is, with that aside, let's take a look at the actual models. Plop. So, much like all of our other Necromunda releases so far, you have two identical sprues. So one sprue is going to build a single stimmer and two of the Forgeborn. Sadly, there are not a whole lot of extra optional bits. Basically, you're going to build your stimmer as either wielding two cannons or the two axes, and there's not a whole lot in between. And then our Forgeborn have access to these big old crazy construction weapons. Interestingly enough, the stimmers are actually in 40mm bases, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for a GW proper Necromunda kit, I believe these are the first models. No, I take that back. The Ambots were. I was going to say these are the first models that actually have the 40s, but nope, I'm wrong, and I corrected myself, so you don't need to do it down below. But definitely quite a bit of parts here. So yeah, like I said, each sprue is going to have a single stimmer and two of the Forgeborn. They want you to buy Dark Uprising, which I would if it was significantly cheaper. And I'm not seeing much in the way of options. No siree. But that's okay. Alright, I don't know about you guys, but I'm anxious to actually see what the models look like built. Because I don't think the artwork does them, not artwork, but the photographs don't really do them justice. To be honest, they look kind of awkward. Their posing looks weird. The Forgeborn look really good, though. So I'm going to see if the stimmers actually look any better in person than they do in their photos. So wish me luck. We'll be back here in a sec with them built. So let's start with our Forgeborn prospects, or whatever they're called. Nice models. I think this model especially has got a lot of conversion possibility if you want to cut that whole electronic, whatever, rock cutter, energy blade, whatever it is. Stick a stubber on there, an auto gun or something. I think you can totally convert this into any kind of other weapon you feel. This guy, I had a problem with just getting him to pose in a way that there was enough contact with the base. For whatever reason, the other model with the saw seemed to go on the base a lot better. This one's foot just did not want to cooperate. And the backpack didn't seem to want to connect with the wrench here. I don't know why. Actually, I just had a hard time with them. Be patient with these guys, especially this one. Actually, all of them. They were quite fiddly going together, and that might have just been my haste to get them built. I wanted to get them over and done with, despite the fact that I do really like their poses and their interesting looking models. Let's be honest, I really wanted to build the stimmers. And the more I play with these guys and build them and take a look at them, the more I just think of juicers from Rifts. I mean, just look at them. They're nuts. All pumped full of chemicals, even more so than, a lot of the other models they've got running around. They're big dudes. Quite big. Those are 40mm bases. And supposedly, I think in the new Book of Chains, you can actually run them with other weapons. So if you wanted to hack those off, be my guess. It's not going to be a fun job. But then again, some of you hardcore Necromunda converters, we're going to do that probably anyways. Grabbing some regular Goliaths, or at least modern Goliaths, should say. You can really see the difference in size is apparent. I I feel like his guns are just too small. He needs bigger guns. That, and I need to drill out the holes, and I don't know where I put my little pin vise thingy. So I gotta find that and get those holes drilled. Again, my glue went crazy, and I just was in such a rush to get these guys built. Way too excited to build this kit. I would strongly recommend taking your time and doing them piece by piece and actually letting things dry rather than just like go, 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 which is what I did. And now they've got nice, gluey, shiny spots around on their bodies. So be wise and learn from my mistakes. Otherwise, they're a cool kit. I feel like for Necromunda and GW pricing, I feel like I got my money's worth, which is something I don't feel like I get to say enough with their kits. But definitely grabbing like a corpse grinder here, again, to get a good size indicator. I kind of wonder if I can take some of these spare arms from the Forgeborn or the Prospects or whatever and stick them on some of the acolytes for the corpse grinders, since, you know, they are supposed to have access to whatever looted weapons. It'd be fun to have one rolling around with a rotary saw blade, right? So, cool kit, and I gotta say, it bodes well for the future of our house codexes, for lack of a better word. And I'm quite curious to see what the other houses are actually going to end up with. Plus, we still have the Ogren, whatever you want to call them, servile servant gang or whatever, coming as well. So definitely some interesting times ahead for Necromunda. So give it a look. I think if you're looking for some interesting conversion possibilities, if you just want some crazy looking post-apocalyptic monstrosities, if you want a good basis of a berserker that you don't feel like paying Forge World prices for, and you don't want the RTLW one, even though it's a perfectly valid choice, and I'm looking around for mine and I don't know where he is, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd show him off just as a reminder. But I do think that these guys would make great berserker proxies with just pretty minimal work, honestly. Slap another shoulder pad on him, maybe give him a different head. You know, I'd probably use this body as a base, but I think it's definitely doable. So, cool kit, and hopefully I will find a use for the leftover parts. With that said, this is High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures. Saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.